Alright, so the basics of the vest is you've got suspension clips here and here. We're going to do this in reverse. Got your zipper. These little pouches here, these are the air valves since it's an air system. Got a set of 4 here, a set of 4 here. This is the electronics down here. So this is where all the smarts for the vest are itself. It's the USB connection that goes to your PC. Then the air inlet hose here as well. I open the vest up. Right here, that's actually the profile of the actuator, about the size of a quarter, if you will. And that's what's giving you the strike. So we got one here, one up here in the chest, kind of mirror image on the other side, and then the same on the back. So they're directly opposite each other. So what's really cool about these is, again, they're the size of like a quarter or your fingertip in between. So we profiled this after, the size of a bullet, a round, if you will. So when we talk about the three-dimensionality of this and some of the cool things that we do and what gamers can do with this is, let's say you want a pistol shot, right? Pistol shot from a distance should feel like a point source. So maybe this one goes off, boom, and you get hit. But let's say you go pistol shot from close range. Sometimes if it's a big enough bullet, it's going to go through you. So you have boom, boom. And that's the kind of effect that you can get. Or blast, a shrapnel, a grenade, and then they all go off at once. Or a machine gun, and you're getting a rat-a-tat pattern round and round, directional as your character spinning as they hit the ground kind of thing. So those are the kinds of things that we do with the code that anybody can do with modding it in and putting it into a game. The SDK, we have predefined effects, so you have machine gun 2 will give you kind of that spiral pattern, or a pistol shot, and then you can vary the intensity. So if you think of a bit as, there's 256 bits, so that's a dynamic range, and each bit is roughly about 30 milliseconds. So you can have effects that if you do a sustained inflation on the bladder for several bits, it's like a jab, so that's a stab wound effect. So those are the kinds of things that you can do with this. Let's have lots of fun with it. This is the compressor box. So this is it. This is the air source. It's about the size of a, little bigger than a paperback book. Generates a little bit of noise. It's not terrible. That's the whole idea. There's a motor inside this, and that's why. So you hear that noise, and that's normal. It's pretty quiet. Doesn't interfere with your gameplay. Connection here is real simple. It's just a push and a twist. That's the air fitting. The setup, less than 120 seconds. You can be having fun with your game. Clip, plug, zip. The SDK we have, you can get it on the website as a free download. So it's for game developers to put in their games and people to have fun with and experiment. They're creating their own content. We look at this as basically you've got audio and video, and we can go to the a real extreme level of complexity with that and realism. But what's next? Audio and video takes you so far, but there's a total, there's 5 senses. We're using 2 of them. So why not, the third sense, if you will, of touch and impact? And there's all some amazing things that, you sense every day with your skin that, you just don't get in a video game. So we look at this as the beginning of the ability to do that. And in doing so, we say, okay, we open the SDK up and let people use it so that they can put nuances into their game content. So shooter's obvious. I mean, you get shot, it's cool, you can vary the types of effects, but what about gravity effects like G-forces for driving and flight games and light contact and ground chatter with a vehicle, all kinds of things.
Madden or something.
Yeah, so sports and contact, role-playing, whatever, creative. There are a lot of creative people in the world. Whatever they want to do with that kind of sensory ability, we look at this as the start of that. So, get the SDK, put it in your content, have fun with it.
That is beautiful. I really appreciate the fact that you do that for the audience out there. So next, what games are you working on right now? What should we expect to see coming from your studios as far as the software goes, support right now and coming in the future?
Yeah, right now we're finishing up Counter-Strike and mods for Team Fortress, so that we'll have those available as part of the driver. The driver auto updates, so as we add game titles, then that'll be updated for the users. We're actually working on, like I said, role-playing support for MMOs and some role-playing games to work into a second genre, just to show that the vest isn't just a shooter vest only, that we're really serious about that whole panorama of games and using it as a broad effects tool. And then you have other plans for sports and contact games, and just bringing those on as the users require them or request them. So that's our goal for the software.
If a user makes a mod, for instance, for an older game that you didn't support before that, can they get that to you in some way and you can test that and then maybe get it into the driver set so that all gamers have access to that?
Sure, they can communicate with us via the website, send us a message, and we can talk about it. One aspect of our website that we're revamping our website is to have a social section, and we would love to see a spot where people would post their mods and be able to share them, and hey, this is Joe's version of Counter-Strike or whatever title that they want to try, and they can tweak the guns and how the guns feel and things like that. So we're way open to that. So that's a work in progress for us.
Well, that's very cool. What's your website again? Go ahead and give that to us.
Yeah, it's tngames.com. So
very cool. Very cool. So this is definitely, I'm seeing this as something where, right now we have the HD TVs, and that's kind of the new standard, HD TVs, and even for the PC, we have the large 24 and 32 inch and these monster monitors with high res. The sound, obviously, we have the Dolby surround sound headphones. We interviewed that earlier this week, as well as just the standard surround sound 8.1, 10.1. All the ones are coming out, and then the newer technologies there. It's really exciting to see that coming into the more visceral feel for the gamer. So I really appreciate that you guys are working on this stuff, and look forward to seeing what comes out in the future. So Mark, thank you very much from gmod.com.
Great, my pleasure. Thanks,
Mark.
Skylar.